We are back. Obi-Wan Kenobi, episode 5. I really enjoyed this episode. The last one I felt like dragged a little bit. But this one I think is about an 8 or a 9 out of 10. I really liked how this episode came together. I was just on another podcast or streaming channel last night with a great crew. I'm going to put the link in the comment section below so everybody can see all the folks I was with last night. And I had mentioned that I had not heard any spoilers about this. I know there's some spoilers that leaked, but I didn't hear any of them, didn't seek them out. And then all of a sudden, I had predicted that, obviously, Reva's a Padawan. She saw her friends get killed, and that everything she was doing was trying to just get close to Darth Vader, because I thought she was going to team up with Obi-Wan and help, try to kill him or whatever. And sure enough, I mean, that was it. Not exactly, but I enjoyed the episode. I will say that O'Shea Jackson, who Ice-T's son, or Ice Cube's son, I want him to do more. I expected him to do more in these episodes other than what his role is. So I'm really hoping maybe in the last episode they give him something to do. I've enjoyed him on camera. He's a really talented actor. And I hate to think that they waste him in this. I've been watching him on social media. He's been going nuts and having a great time being a part of Star Wars. But I just feel like his character should be doing more. So I'm kind of like cheering for him. If not now, maybe in the future. Who knows if he crosses over into Andor or something like that. I don't know. Darth Vader did some pretty awesome stuff in this particular episode. And, I know they were going for a lot of like the Force Unleashed stuff, pulling down like a Star Destroyer, or even like Rey and the Rise of Skywalker, pulling down the ship that she thought Chewie was on, and then it explodes. I feel like they're trying to, sometimes I feel like that what they do is they're plugging holes, showing you cool stuff, but like, again, because Rey did it in The Rise of Skywalker, a lot of people are like, oh, when did that, like, how could you do that? We've never seen that before in Star Wars. So now they're like, well, it actually did happen back then. You just didn't see it yet because we haven't shown it to you. And I get that they do that. And it's cool to watch and it's awesome. But at the same time, it's filling in these holes creatively, which, you either like that or you don't. I enjoyed the flashback sequences with Anakin and Obi-Wan. I wish they would have started the series with that kind of stuff and maybe peppered that throughout the entire show. The episode runtime was like 39 minutes or something like that, or 38 minutes. And I really hope the last one is like I'm hearing on social media it's like an hour and 30 minutes or something. I hope it is. Something tells me it's probably going to be like 55 minutes. I don't know. But again, like I enjoyed this episode. I feel like, episode 3 and episode 5 for me have been, top notch, top tier Star Wars. And what I'm missing is, wouldn't it be cool if Darth Vader, talked to Palpatine in a hologram or something? Wouldn't that be like, I feel like maybe we can get that and they bring back Ian McDiarmid, to do it again. I just feel like that would rock. So I had a stupid little thing pop up on the desktop audio, an alert from Microsoft. But anyway, I digress. So I've been watching on and off today. Some of the other people out there putting out theirs with all their Easter eggs and stuff. They caught a lot of stuff that I didn't catch, which was cool. The box with the lightsabers, I thought, I want to know, whose lightsabers they are. But like, it's always funny. I thought like, I didn't realize the lightsabers would be so, there's that one scene, I think it was like in episode 4, in the Inquisitor's lair, if you will, with all the Star Wars lightsabers of all the Jedis just kind of wrapped around the room. And I just always thought like the weapon of a Jedi Knight at this particular time in history was just like so rare, and you couldn't find them, and it was almost like why is that guy carrying a laser sword? Who does that? You know, that kind of thing when it came to like A New Hope. But it seems like lightsabers are everywhere, so it's like, okay, you know, I mean, I guess maybe they take the kyber crystals out for the Death Star later on from all these lightsabers to help. I don't know. It'll be interesting to see how they connect the dots. I just find it interesting that there's lightsabers everywhere. And I guess that's really it. Look, I had fun. I think, you know, the weekly schedule release, which I love because then people get to debate and talk throughout the week, is really cool, you know, but at the same time, so many people just come, you know, just have been ragging on the show. Why'd they do this or why'd they do that? Why? Because, you know, the way storytelling goes is like you're going to get your answers as the story progresses. But, you know, the fans can be so hardcore that they want the answers now. They don't, what the hell is that? What is this? What is, I don't get it, you know? And they get real loud, and especially on social media. And I think like no one's letting this breathe so that it can get its legs. But in retrospect, when I look at everything so far from episode 1 all the way to 5, I think this show is better than the Book of Boba Fett. I still like The Mandalorian the best. And I think this show is really good. And again, like, I think for me, and I say this all the time, Ewan McGregor is just watching him on screen, even when he's got no dialogue and he's internalizing things as Obi-Wan Kenobi, it's like, I enjoy the performance of the actor. And so, and I think like Moses Ingram has gotten better throughout the show because I don't think people understood where she was coming from. And this episode, she was really good. The last episode, she was really good when she was interrogating Leia. So it's like, for me, you've got to let these things develop. You know, I would have liked a little bit more of a heads up backstory on Wade, because I feel like, you know, he was almost like a red shirt in Star Trek. He just like he was sacrificed, but then they made kind of a big deal about him. But they never really gave him a backstory or like introduced him early enough for us to care. And so I feel like maybe there's cutting room floor scenes that we haven't seen. You know, I don't know why none of these shows ever put out like bonus features, like deleted scenes. Yeah, that's the one thing I miss about, you know, physical media, DVDs, is I always just love the behind the scenes stuff. But with these streaming shows, they don't really show you that. And you'll get one episode at the end of the show that kind of talks about everything and interviews people, but you don't get a lot of deleted scenes and things that like you would normally get on a physical disc. So that's really it for me. Like, I enjoy this. You know, I got one more thing I want to say about Reva. I think it's going to be disclosed later. Like, we look at her as human, but I don't think she's human. You know, and I'm not saying she's like the Inquisitor that's got 2 stomachs, because, you know, Anakin's already stabbed her through the gut once as Vader in the temple when she was a youngling, and they found her in the street later and brought her in and you know, raised her up, if you will, as the third sister. And then Darth Vader runs her through again in the same fashion he did this, and then leaves her. I don't know why, like, they don't just cut heads off, you know, or just like, you know, cut somebody in half. I think like when Qui-Gon got stabbed all the way through and he died in a couple of minutes, you know, I feel like it's going to be revealed that Reva is something else. She's not exact. She's like, they're either going to lift up her shirt in the scene and she'll be like, you know, Fennec, you know, with robotics that, you know, repaired her the first time. And when Vader went through it the second time, he went through her like a droid. And maybe her middle half. I mean, it's not unheard of. And I know people might go, well, that's a cop-out. But look what Darth Maul, when Darth Maul went through all his transformations in Star Wars, the Clone Wars and Rebels and all that stuff, with the different legs and all that kind of stuff, until he became the form that he was when Obi-Wan Kenobi saw him in the desert and kind of killed him with 2 swipes. You know, so it's not unheard of for people to get these appendages and to get these kind of repairs. So I'm interested to see if that's the direction they go in with Reva. But anyway, that's it. Look, O'Shea Jackson's got to give this guy more work to do in this series. If not, give the guy his own series. I'd love, he just strikes me as like a Han Solo alpha type that would be awesome in a shootout and awesome. Like, we haven't seen his skill level. There's one scene where he's got a crossbow like Chewbacca has, but it's like they're not. I needed more. The thermal detonator scene was great. It's a big tugging on the heartstrings. The droid like protects her. Earlier in the other episode, he grabbed a wrench and he was going to just clock a stormtrooper to protect her, Tala. And like now, he's protecting her from getting shot up. And then of course, he just dies, and then she blasts the thermal detonator and takes one for the team. I love that. A lot like Rogue One. I love how everyone died in some respects, and because the stories need to have an ending, if you will, and not drag on. And because I think that's what bothers me the most, with knowing all of these Jedis are going through this tunnel and being transported and given new identities, and they're forgetting about the Force. It just strikes me so crazy that like there's Jedi obviously all over the galaxy, and none of them like come out to help later on Luke Skywalker as he goes through his journey, other than Yoda and Obi-Wan talking to him as a ghost. Where are all these Jedi? Are they just out on the outer rim, chilling, letting everything just fall apart? Where they're everywhere. They've been going through this tunnel, and we've got all their lightsabers because they leave them in a box and they give it up. And it's just like, but that means there's Force sensitive people everywhere. So I need a little bit more story. Give me more. Give me more. What did you guys think of the latest episode 5? We got one left. I believe we will see the last final duel between Obi-Wan and Vader, and I think it'll be just as exciting as Revenge of the Sith. What do you guys think? Let's talk about it in the comment section. We'll see you on the next one.